Hey everybody, Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. Good morning to you. God bless you all today. I hope you have a great day today. It is Monday, December 28th. So we're almost getting to the end of the month. Now, before I get to this real quick, I want to thank every single one of y'all. Y'all were so awesome in telling my wife happy birthday yesterday. She literally was blushing all day. So I couldn't have made it a better day for her for what y'all did. Y'all made her day better than I could have. So thank you, thank you so much. God bless you. I wish the best for y'all. That was awesome. I appreciate you. Y'all are such a great community. Now, before I get to the storm real quick, let me show you real quick that it's still showing in 3 days. We still got a tornado probability of 2 out of 10 for Texas in 3 days. And in 4 days, the 4 out of 10 has moved from Louisiana all the way to the panhandle of Florida. This is going to be a bad tornado event. And I might be covering this. Y'all let me know in the comments if you want me to. And it also is moving to the East Coast. And it's going to be a bad 4 out of 10 tornado possibility for Georgia, as well as South Carolina and North Carolina. And South Carolina is right in the middle of this thing. And North Carolina, you're in the crosshairs again, just like last time. So God bless you. I hope you will not see all that stuff. Now I'm going to put this video in the link in the description. This is actually a video of the Springfield, Missouri, 2007 ice storm that we had. I think that we could be getting a repeat of this storm. It was very heavy. It knocked almost 2 million people out with power. I will give this link in the description. This is from Scott Turkington. That way you can watch the video yourself. And if you've never been here before, hit that subscribe button. Well, let me know that you do like what I have here, because I do upload every single day. And we are a very helpful, and as you know, on people's birthdays, we're a very loving community. So we're a very good group of people. Now, I'm going to show y'all what the snowfall is going to be, y'all, especially the ice, because this is going to be a major ice event. I do believe that. And some models even showing less snow and more rain, so the temperatures are going to be too warm for a lot of these areas. So it's going to be more ice. So if y'all want to update in the afternoon like I used to do 2 videos a day, hit that like button. Let me know that you like the idea of a second update every day again, and I will give you one. Just let me know by hitting the like button. I do appreciate it. Now, this is your Euro analysis. I went through the Euro and the GFS, and the GFS is showing hardly any rain in a lot of these models. So I kind of knocked the GFS out, because the Euro is showing that there is going to be a lot of rain. There's going to be a snow event. And GFS is showing that it's not. And even National Weather Service showing it's going to be a lot of rain. So that kind of knocks the GFS out. And I noticed that the GEM model, it showed almost 4 inches of ice. And I'm not going to show that, because that's just crazy, 4 inches of ice. Last time we had 4 inches of ice was back in 2007. That's when we had the big historic ice storm, Springfield. And it went anywhere from half an inch to 4 inches. And the worst that we had, just so y'all know, is back in 1998. We did have a report of 4 inches in some areas. So that is just crazy to get 4 inches, period. Now, I'm going to go over what you're going to see for the end of December. There's going to be a December snowfall before New Year's Eve, plus the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day situation that we're going to have. Now, this is your surface low pressure, so you can see exactly what's going on with the rain and the snow. And this is on Tuesday the 29th. And as you get into the afternoon, you see that the snowfall will start coming across the country. And then the worst part of this snowfall is that it has a bad line of freezing rain versus rain and then snow. And it's hard to predict that, because with the freezing rain, it actually is because warm air gets underneath the cold air aloft, and that's what turns it into freezing droplets when it hits the ground. So it will cause a lot of problems. But as you move through on the Tuesday, there will be snowfall, there will be rain on the south side, and we still got these tornado problems that will be in the south as well in a few days past this. But when you get towards Christmas Eve, not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, you'll see that on Wednesday it is heavy snowfall on the 30th, and we do have that thin line of ice that's going to be moving across the states. That's in between the rain and in between the snow. And this ice is pretty heavy. It's not super heavy yet, but it will get even more as the day goes along. Because as y'all know, we have 2 systems that's going to be back to back. And when you get towards Christmas, there it goes Christmas again. I'm so stuck on Christmas. I had such a good and peaceful Christmas. God bless. It was very peaceful. I appreciate the Lord for bringing it to my house. But on New Year's Eve, that's when the big anomaly is going to start. It's around the 30th late night and then early morning on New Year's Eve. And this is where I'm talking about it's hard to figure out the rain versus the snow because the temperature anomaly shows that it goes right to rain and straight to ice, heavy ice. And I'll show you a little bit closer look at that. But it's very thin line. And some of you are going to be getting rain, then ice, and then snow after it. So it all depends. And there's even a possibility of some snow in Texas. And I will go over that as well. And some models show it could be a heavy snowfall for western Texas. Now, as you go into New Year's Day, this is when the big second storm is going to come up and bring that big ice anomaly from Missouri. And this is a pretty big anomaly. Look how it's widespread, and this is some heavy ice. And I did show yesterday it's over an inch to an inch and a quarter on this. But as you can see, first it goes ice, then it goes snow. Now this is for Oklahoma, so you can see exactly what's going on, and then it's going to turn into snow again for whoever just had ice from Missouri. So Missouri's going to get your ice, and then it's going to go into rain over the ice, and then it's going to come back again with some snow over that. So I do see that this will be some widespread power outages, guys. I mean, look how far the ice goes across. It goes all the way across the northern half of the states. It isn't super heavy in a lot of parts, but a half inch of snow, a half inch of ice will make power outages and damages, guys. I'm talking roofs collapses, all kind of issues with the ice. So this is going to be the main part, I think. I think there's going to be a lot of snow. That's really good. There's also going to be a lot of rain, as you can see, for the south. But the ice is going to be a crippling ice storm that we need to watch out for, because a lot of people are going to be losing power for this ice storm. Now, if you look just in the Midwest and see exactly where the rain versus the ice is going to be, this is on the 30th, on Wednesday. You can see that lower Ohio will be having ice, and then after it gets ice, it'll be having rain going over that while it moves heavy snow in the rest of the states. And then after the rain moves through, it could be some more light snow moving after that. So that could be a big issue as far as what's going to be on your trees, because there's going to be a lot of ice that's going to be going on with that, guys. Now, on New Year's Eve, it's really going to start turning precipitation into ice. And this is for a lot of people. And this is exactly New Year's Eve when this starts. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day is when it starts getting worse. And you can see the temperature anomaly. It just disappears late night New Year's Eve, but on New Year's Day is when it comes back, and it comes back pretty heavy with a vengeance. This purple here, that is an inch of ice. So not only is it just a half an inch, but you have some people that have heavy amounts of ice, and it's going to be widespread power outages, even in northern Illinois, northern Indiana, even part of western Ohio will be getting some of this. And then as it moves further north, it is going to bring more ice into southern Wisconsin, also eastern Iowa. But Michigan also is going to be in on this ice that's going to be coming across, and especially North Michigan, it's going to be a heavy ice coming along with you. Then after that, you're going to be getting rain over it, and then the snow is going to move over all that rain and freezing rain and all that ice you're going to have. It's going to be covered with a little layer of snow. So it's definitely going to stick around and cause the main problems. So I hope that y'all don't have any branches that's going over y'all power lines or anything like that, because I guarantee you they're going to be falling on this storm. It is going to be widespread. Now, to get a look at your snowfall totals for what you're going to have for the Midwest, Wednesday the 30th, this is late night on Wednesday, it's when the snow starts getting heavy amounts for the whole Midwest. You got Wisconsin, you got Iowa, you got Minnesota, you got South Dakota, Michigan. Everybody's going to be getting in on this snow event for the first snow, because there is two systems coming through. Now, this is Thursday on New Year's Eve that you're going to be getting the first one. And then as it goes into New Year's Day, this is when the snow starts coming from the second event that comes up from the south and is bringing that warm air from the Gulf, and that lower level of warm air is bringing even a worse of an ice event that's going to be right below all this heavy snowfall. But this is just for your snowfall right here. So you can see that it's pretty much the same track of heavy snowfall that it was for the first system. The second system is going to be around the same area with heavy amounts for Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin. Heavy snowfall. And if you look right here on the precipitation, so you can see what we have just for Texas. There will be a heavy snowfall for Texas, especially according to the Icon model. But this is the Euro. This is the one that I see that is most accurate out of all of it. And if you look towards New Year's Eve and going into New Year's Day, you're getting heavy snowfall amounts for Texas, and we're talking up to 9 inches for some spots. It all depends where you're at. And this is just west of Dallas. So Dallas might see a little bit of snowfall. This is more like Abilene. That's going to be getting a lot of this. But then it will stick around with the temperatures at least to the 3rd and then go away on the 4th for y'all. But if you look at the system as it goes, you can see as it comes along and understand a little bit that on New Year's Eve, this is when the temperatures change, and this is when the rain that does start up, and there will be possible tornado events that's coming out of this as well. You'll see that the snow does accumulate as well as some freezing rain for New Year's Eve for central Texas. And as it moves up to the north of North Texas, it's a lot more ice, a lot more freezing rain, also some snow events, especially for this area, for right around Dallas area. There's a good chance you will get snowfall right on New Year's Day. So be aware of that. I know y'all want some snow over there. You might just get it. So that is a possibility. Now, if you look at the freezing rain from Missouri, Missouri is going to get a lot of freezing rain. You can see the system moving through, and you can see exactly why it does what it does. You can see how it's too warm underneath, and you got snow on top, you got the freezing rain, and then you got the regular rain right below it. And it does get heavy as it goes along. But then the only reason I'm focusing on Missouri is because the second system focuses very heavy freezing rain for Missouri. This is on New Year's Eve. As you're going into New Year's Eve and New Year's Day morning, it's very slight on the temperatures. It's nowhere near going to be snowfall in the beginning of it. It is right on the edge of that freezing rain temperature, and it's going to be a lot of heavy ice that's going to be falling. And it's always in this area around the beginning of January. They seem to get the heaviest ice storms around the beginning of January. Then as you go into New Year's Day, it will turn into some rain, some snow. So some of that freezing rain will melt off on the east side of Missouri. But North Missouri, you're going to be having heavy ice, and then you're going to have some snow falling right after it. So that is not going to be fun at all. And we're talking a lot of heavy ice. Just when it passes on the first one, you look at the heavy ice. And just a half an inch will make the power outages go out, and it'd be a big power outage event. And it goes straight across for New Year's Day, straight across Missouri with that heavy, heavy ice. And this is going to be a big power outage event, I do believe, for Missouri and lower Iowa. So I hope it don't happen, but everything is showing that it will happen. Now, to get a little bit of look of what's going on with this system, let's go from west coast to east coast. And as you see the snow moving in, you see the accumulations. And then this is New Year's Eve. And as we go into New Year's Eve, it starts getting more snow. Now, I'm showing that the west, as you go into New Year's Day and on, that the west gets battered from snowstorm, just getting hit all the way until January 7th. And you can see the system here as it moves along, that it just gets hit and battered with snowstorms after snowstorms, and it just builds up snowfall all the way into the 7th. One after another, the West Coast just gets attacked. Now, if you look at the East Coast side of it and see what the snowfall is going to be, this is a snowfall that we get within the next 40 to 42 hours of that low swath that we're going to get of 1 to 3 inches. And then when the first event comes by on the 30th, you're going to see some good snowfall amounts. And then on New Year's Eve is when the second one happens, on New Year's Eve in the evening. And that's when a snowstorm and the ice storm does build up for Missouri. And then as you get to the second and the third is when it drops its heaviest amount of the snow for Iowa, for southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, also in northern Michigan. So it does show that this is just a hot area for snowfall for this event that's going to happen. Now, according to the Icon model does show something a little bit different. It concurs that up to the New Year's Eve or up to the 30th, that the amounts are about the same. You're going to get some heavy amounts in Iowa, southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. But as you get to the second system, it shows that the second system starts getting real heavy towards Texas before it starts to go out. And we're talking up to 34 inches is a possibility for Texas. So that's a pretty wild factor, just like the GM model showing 4 inches of ice. So I'm really not believing that much. But they are there is a potential that they will get a few inches of snowfall for Central Texas. I am showing that is a possibility. And once again, the heavy amounts for Iowa, Wisconsin, and Northern Illinois are still showing the same. So that's very trending on all the models. Now, if you get a closer look at where in Texas the snowfall is going to be happening, this is getting into New Year's Eve morning and afternoon. Is going to be the heaviest part of your snowstorm. And then when you come into New Year's Day, y'all going to wake up with a lot of snowfall on the ground, according to the Icon model. Euro's showing somewhat less, but it's still showing that you're going to be getting snowfall for your area. So that's pretty cool. Now, if we look at the anomaly for what's going to be happening with this system, you can see it move through. And this is according to the EPS members. The EPS members is a good predictability for what's going to be happening with this pattern. And it does pick up on the ice in between the rain and the snow for the first storm that does pass by. And then as we go into New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, that's when the ice storm is really going to pick up, as well as the snow. Still pick up snow for Texas, so that's a good thing. Texas can use some snow. But the widespread of the ice is just so much is unbelievable. We're talking about Kansas, Oklahoma, maybe even parts of Nebraska as it gets up. But it seems like they just get mostly snow. But the heaviest part is New Year's Day, north Missouri, and it is showing very heavy, almost up to an inch, and maybe even an inch in some spots. That's what that purple dot is that you see right there. And then as it moves through, some people are going to be getting snow, then ice, and then it's going to be rain right after. So the freezing rain shouldn't stick around too long because of the temperatures. Like if you look towards Michigan, towards the northeast, they do get some freezing rain, but then they get regular rain over it. So that should help get rid of some of that freezing rain, even though the temperatures will be around a little bit after that. Now, if you look for Texas and just see what the Cape is going to be, because this is going to be a big tornado event. Not only a big ice storm, some good heavy snowfall, it's going to be a big tornado event. So it's going to be crazy on the north side of these storms as well as on the south side. And if you look towards the 30th and Christmas Eve, you'll see the Cape values. This is for potential energy for what we can find for tornadoes could happen. And this is where we have on New Year's Eve the 2 out of 10 chance of tornadoes, and it actually looks more like a 3 out of 10 chance. You get up to 1,000 joules, and 1,000 joules is a strong thunderstorm, guys. And then as it moves through on the New Year's Eve for Louisiana, it really starts getting to 1,000 joules, and it starts getting real heavy. Matter of fact, you can see that shot better from here. You can see the energy move across for New Year's Eve. And this is a bad chance for tornadoes, especially for Louisiana, because it starts weakening after it leaves Louisiana and Mississippi. But all this Cape value shows a lot of energy, a lot of potential for tornadoes that could happen. And if you watch it, you can even see it. It stays around Florida for quite some time with some storms. So we definitely got to watch out for the storms, guys. Now this right here, I'm going to play for you so you can see exactly what's going to happen in the next 60 hours. This is the NAM 3K model. NAM 3K is a good model. However, I'm showing that it is close to the Euro of what the Euro is expecting. But I think that the Euro is going to be more accurate, especially over the GFS. Hebrews 8. Now of the things which we have spoken, this is the sum. We have such an high priest who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens, a minister of the sanctuary and of the true tabernacle which the Lord pitched, and not man. For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices, wherefore it is a necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer. For if he were on earth, he should not be a priest, seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the law, who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things. As Moses was admonished of God when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern shewed to thee in the mount. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their minds, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. In that he saith, A new covenant he hath made, the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. Amen, guys. God bless you all today. I hope you all have a great Monday today. This is going to be some storm. We got to keep picking at it and keep getting the percentages of it, because I'm showing that it is going to be a big ice storm, and it is going to start all the way from Oklahoma. It's going to go all the way towards Kansas, and then as it gets towards Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, this is all going to turn into snow. It's going to all turn into snow versus the big ice storm. This is ice and sleet you're seeing here. This is hours and hours of ice. This is going to be a big power outage event. And just to show you how big of a deal it is with the power outages, let me show you how many people that we are even talking about as far as these power outage events, because we're talking a lot of power, guys. We're talking about a lot of people. And just looking at just what we have for the states. Let's see. For Illinois, we're talking over 2.6 million people. Oklahoma, 1.6 million, a million people, 1.4 million. We're talking a lot of people. A lot, 1.4 million Iowa. This is going to be a big, over 5 million people in Illinois. This is going to be a big power outage event for a lot of people. And I'm not saying it's going to be millions like it's been a while back in the past, but it could be, because this storm is moving slow enough. The second storm is moving slow enough to where this ice is going to be everywhere, especially for Missouri. God bless you, Missouri. I do believe that y'all going to have a bad time with this, and you're going to just be begging to get power back on while it's still cold outside. So bless y'all. I hope God comes to y'all very quickly. Amen. Bless you all today. I hope you have a great day today. Do me a favor, share the video, share the love. All glory does go to God. Amen.